Thanks again for joining the Falling for Learning podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about student athletes getting paid, right? So this is a new terrain. New laws have been passed so that kids are able to get paid for their skills as an athlete. And we have an expert here today that's going to help you with how to navigate that, help your kid get started making money, and once they get the money, what are they going to do with it? Hi, thank you so much for joining the Falling for Learning podcast. I am TD Blennaw. We have this podcast to help parents and caregivers with having the resources, strategies, and tools needed to make sure that their children are on track for learning and to stay on track for success. So welcome to our show, Coach Cece. She's a career educator. She focuses on financial literacy. And again, she was a former student athlete, so she knows what to do. But also, she has expertise in how to navigate this new terrain of NIL. Thanks for joining us, Coach Cece. How are you doing?
What's going on? What's going on, TD, on this lovely Saturday?
Doing so good today.
Happy to be here, man. Ready to educate the masses.
Absolutely. So we always ask all of our guests, what is it, that thing that made you fall in love with learning as a kid?
I remember as a kid, my mom, I don't know, in the black families, they used to have these little encyclopedia books that they had like different colors. I don't know what it
I had
is. It
them.
made me just
We had
start
them.
picking up every year. It's like, I guess people would knock on the doors and sell them to us or whatever. But,
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
families, they were meant for decoration. But I would actually get in the books and read the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Was there something just innate, just in me that was just had a curiosity about things? Even in elementary schools, it's like schoolwork was just easy. I was just like, what do I need to do? My brain was just understand a lot of things. So I was just learning to be learning. Then I don't know, it was just something in me. But the older I became, it was just really fascinating just to know things, like to know facts, and I was just a nerd, just a school nerd, just learning. But the older I got, man, I was like, man, it's just kind of cool just to have knowledge and to be able to, once I get the knowledge, I learned as well that I want to teach other people what I've learned. And I think that's what got me into being an educator and being a teacher for 17 years.
So those encyclopedias, yes, is one of my things as well. I was into those. Could you tell us how your learning and your curiosity and your reading really led to your career that you had, like as you were advancing in education, like when you went to college?
It started with I played basketball, and our coach had us to do like this personality quiz, like a career assessment quiz, because I wanted to go first I wanted to go
Mm-hmm.
to the WNBA. That was everybody saying. And then I wanted to like get into
Okay.
business because I felt like I was kind of good at sales or whatever. So I'm like, I'm about to go make some bread.
Okay.
Like, so we take the career assessment, and my number one thing on the career assessment was to be a teacher, to be an educator. I looked at the test. I was like, hey, coach,
Okay.
not doing this. They don't make money not doing this. And so it started with that career assessment. And guess what? I actually ignored it, and I went out into the workforce, and I had all these different jobs and careers. I was getting into sports management. I did some work for the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and I just wasn't happy.
Okay.
Like something was just off, and I started coaching girls basketball on the side. So when I leave that job and go coach, I just felt like my day was just getting started. So it started off with coaching basketball, and then the principal of that school
Okay.
loved me so much. She was like, "If you go get your master's in education," she said, "you'll have a job waiting on you." So I went and got my master's in education. She let me live with them, her and her 5 kids for a while, and next thing you know, I'm in the education system
Wow.
teaching and I'm coaching. And I fell in
All
love with
right.
I fell in love with the students, and when I watched them get an aha moment, when I watched them like learn something, I fell in love with that feeling of watching them learn. So that's what kept me in the education
Wow.
system as well.
Okay. So what do you teach? What have you been teaching?
So I teach
This subject.
I teach high school business and marketing electives. So it's kind of like whatever they sign up for that year. So right now I'm teaching digital marketing. sports and entertainment
Okay.
marketing, and entrepreneurship.
Mm.
Yeah, and they got
Well,
rid of
that's
my
right
favorite.
up.
They got rid of my favorite class, which is this career prep class that was teaching a lot about financial literacy and how to get a job
Okay.
and those kind of things. But I still kind of sprinkle that in my curriculum anyway.
I got it. Okay. And so that leads us to, as you were in college, tell us about like your financial situation because we know you teach financial literacy and all of that.
Broke, broke, broke. Didn't know anything about money. Didn't I never had a job before. I was on a full ride scholarship. So I'm thinking full ride
Okay.
scholarship, they about to pay for everything. So I'm like, I'm good. But I still need money to put gas in my car, to buy clothes, to be able to eat out with my
Yeah.
friends, to buy gifts, you know, to buy gifts for people, Christmas gifts. I still needed money, but I did not understand that. So, as a student athlete, y'all know, some people y'all know, we would wait on those Pell Grants, and we would get those Pell Grants, and we thought we were like living it up. But the Pell Grants, the Pell Grants are for for families who are low income families, and
Yes.
but when that will run out, it's like as a student athlete, you don't have time to work, because of your sport and your
Yeah.
academics. So we would depend on that money. But when that money ran dry, man, we were struggling. We were broke. So I was like, okay, what to do? Okay, get a job. So I started off. First income I was getting is doing basketball camps in the summertime. So that was like my first income. And,
Okay.
and, and that was my first time learning about taxes. I almost cried. I almost lost it when I learned about taxes. I got that check. I'm like, hold on now. The hours times how much y'all were going to pay me, that ain't adding up. I
Yes.
went up there. I said, hey, coach, what's going on with my check? And that's when I first learned about taxes. So she taught me about taxes then. I was like, wow. But being in college, man, and being a student athlete, you don't have time to make money, so you just get the little scraps that you can, and it was bad. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
bad. But now it's different. They got opportunity now, but back then we were struggling. A lot of my
So
teammates were
what were
going
like,
selling plasma. They were going to the plasma bank. Like my
oh my
teammates, we were trying to
goodness.
get it. We were trying to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I have a
TD,
yes.
TD, you looking like I done been to one of them banks.
No, I had I knew someone who was giving, sperm and that was
Hey,
yeah.
you gotta get it. You gotta get it how you can.
Yes. Okay. So, there were laws and stuff like that. What were some of the laws that like were restricting you all back then? What I heard, because I was not a student athlete, is that that people couldn't even buy you groceries or something like that. They might get you in trouble, or what were the
Yeah,
restrictions?
so we were pretty. I mean, we were there. It's like back then, pretty much, we could get a job. Like we could get jobs, but it's just you get paid minimum wage to only work of what 2 hours, 3 hours. That's nothing. But
Yeah.
back then, you couldn't get paid to sign autographs. You couldn't get paid if you wanted to sell your jerseys. If you wanted to show up to a basketball camp or something like that, you couldn't get paid for it for any of that. Like so, it was a law because they
Yeah.
considered that to be like we're amateur athletes, and so as amateur athletes, we can't get paid
Right.
to have anything to do with our name, our image, or our likeness.
Yeah, which of course we know that new legislation allows people to get paid for through NIL. So tell us what NIL means. People use these acronyms all the time, but what does that mean?
Look, when I tell you, so NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. But all it is
Okay.
really your reputation. It's personal branding. It's your reputation. Is just you being able to be an entrepreneur, like your own boss. So that's all it is. That's all
Okay.
it is. Uh, the cool thing about it is in the summer of 2021, um, they changed the law over, saying that now student athletes can use their name, image, and likeness to make money because there's some athletes that were on video games, like their face, their jersey number were on
Yes.
video games, and they couldn't get paid for it. The
It's
NCAA was making
crazy.
so much money off of us, not just ticket sales, but I'm like, you selling my jersey with my name on the back, and I can't see any of that money,
No.
So a law changed in 2021 that's saying, yeah, they can, but they've been trying to, it's been the wild, wild west out there because a lot of different states have different regulations. So
I
everybody
see.
is different. So for each state, the laws may be tweaked and like changed just a little bit. So
Hmm.
if any families are looking to get into that, make sure you check with your state. Make sure you check with your with the athletic offices first, and compliance first, and then check your state
Hmm.
laws on that because everybody's different. Every state is different.
Yeah. So you work with high schoolers, and I know that even high schoolers can make money now through the NIL deals. So how does that work? Who's reaching out? Like, who's paying them? Like, how is that working?
So high schools in many states, not all states though, they haven't
I
reached,
see.
Alabama, Mississippi. I'm in Alabama. I'm like, I need to go up there. I need to go up there and get some signatures or something, don't I? But not really. But I feel like it's coming because you just think if high school, if they're doing it in high school and it's not your state, the colleges in that they're going to lose some of those. They're going to lose some of those players. So anyway, in high
Absolutely.
school, so from high school to college, it's all really the same. Let's just say, and let's just say there's a brand. Okay, let's say there's a supplement brand. The supplement brand, they
Okay.
check out your social media and it's like, man, I really like what they stand for. They got influence, like they got a lot of engagement on their social media. This supplement brand may come to you and say, hey, let's do a deal. Like if you post, maybe they call them deliverables. So if you have a deliverable, like you have to
Okay.
you post so many times on your social media, and it's like you making a commercial or an ad for them. Or it could be organic,
Okay.
just saying that you use it, like you're using it. So the brand
Right.
would come to them and say, you have to do this many ads or this many posts about this brand. And
Right.
that could be a deal. Supplement brands, you got to think locally is what I really hit in on. And I try to get a lot of families to look at because, they see the big deals. They see all the big people making the big deals, but that's only about
Yes.
1% of student athletes. So I try to
Yes.
remind
Yes.
them, hey, y'all, what about that car wash down there that you keep going to all the time? What about this restaurant that you love the burger at this restaurant? How about the
Yeah.
whole team? How about the whole team? This restaurant y'all always go and spend money at. How about y'all work out a deal? Maybe get a burger that y'all name and y'all design a burger, and every time somebody buy that burger, y'all get the proceeds from that. You see what I'm saying? So I try to get them to more start thinking like an entrepreneur. So you got
That's
law
wonderful.
offices, or you just think about any brand that a student athlete may use that they would come into a student athlete like an influencer and then say, they treat them like influencers because instead of spending their ad money, with billboards, which is getting old school, or
Right.
spending their money on commercials that goes on cable. What is everybody on now? Everybody's glued to them
Social
phones. So
media.
if they're on the phone,
Right.
you got to meet the people where they are. So the brands is like, let's get smart. We're going to meet them where they are. They're on social media, and let's use this student athlete since everybody's watching them anyway to get our product out there.
Yes.
So now we got a win-win situation. The student athletes, they're getting paid for using their influence, and then the brand, they're going to get more eyes on their brand from the student athletes. So it's a win-win situation. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, really. So, is there amount like so is there an amount of like social media followers you should try to have to get this type of deals?
I'm so glad you asked me that. So a lot of people think that it's about your followers, how many followers you have. The social media algorithm
Right.
has changed. So now I've talked to
Oh,
brands and I've interviewed with brands, and the brands are looking for engagement, influence,
okay.
engagements. They don't care
Okay.
about followers anymore because the algorithm has changed.
Mm,
Started with TikTok. Everyone's adapting to what TikTok has been doing. So TikTok's algorithm
okay.
now is it's called an interest graph. So now it don't matter your followers, is now about what you're interested in. Check it out. Like look at your feed, and you're not going to see a lot of people that you follow. You'll see maybe things that you've been interested in. Maybe you
I
like
see.
something, or you DM somebody, or you engage with the content. The algorithm is going to show you more of that. So now brands are like, let me look at your engagement metrics. So if your engagement metrics, that tells me that you can have a million followers, but if they're not engaging with you We don't want that because
Yeah.
our product or service is not getting out there, not getting eyes on it. So
Right.
they're looking at the engagement right now.
The Rewrite Method and the Rewrite Method Workbook are your go-to resource for helping kids to learn to fall in love with writing. It has the tips, tools, resources, strategies, and skill-building activities to help kids fall out of writing hate and into loving to write. Get your book set today.
Okay, that's really good to know. So if you have a post and 1 million people are looking at it, maybe you have 1,000 followers, 500 followers, but that million is something that people are engaging. They think it's funny. They're liking it, sharing it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they want to see that. They want to see what you're posting. Your people are sharing it, commenting, liking it. That's what they said that they want. They want to see, and they said they will also want to see like if you're using products, like how good are you at making content about the products that you're already using. I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay. That's something that I learned as well. But I stay educate myself. I stay in the room. I stay at these NIL conferences, the financial literacy conference, anything with branding. I stay learning. So, but just hearing it from the brand, they're saying this is what we're looking for, not followers.
Got it. So you do talk about, you started with saying like the kids are, the young athletes are now thinking about themselves as a brand or as a business themselves. So that makes me think about their image. Like you said, they like what you stand for. So what are some things that kids might be doing on their social media that are actually opposite of that? Is something that people are like, I don't want to deal with this person.
Flashing money, uh, clothes are off, middle finger up. Or
Okay.
or or that's been a thing, but or this is what one brand said. When they go look at it, they said if they're going looking at the pages, some things that they're
Mm-hmm.
doing wrong is they're not showing their personality at all they're
I
showing
see.
is highlight clips and photos. So the brand is like, I can't tell who you are if you actually represent what we believe in or not by looking at your page, because all I see is that you're good at your sport. They're not just only choosing
Right.
people that's good at their sport. Also, the first thing they profile in your profile, uh, in your profile, that you need to have what sports you play, you can have your number, what team you play for, but you also need to have like an email address. It could be a Gmail account, but like an email address and say, NIL inquiries with the email address. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got
Okay.
to have some way for them to contact you, but you need to put a
Right.
quote or something that says something, well, who you are and what you believe in. Because they just want to see
I
that
got it.
their mission aligns with your mission. That's what they're looking for.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
other than that stuff, but those are the no's. Like having a profile that you can't tell who you are, only posting photos, only posting highlight reels, and the parties and posting that kind of stuff. They're not. Those are red flags for
Okay.
brands.
Great. So I know that the audience would be very interested in that, making sure you are presenting yourself well online. So that's something that we didn't have to worry about when we were kids, right? We could just show up to the interview looking presentable and acting like we got some sense, even though we might be acting a fool out other
Yo,
places, as long as we didn't get in trouble, right? But when
with the
we're putting
law.
everything online, yeah.
Yeah, because baby, I used to be out there. I'm like, man, I used to be at the parties. I used to be silly, goof out, but I was like the life of the party. Shout out to the Leos. But if we had social media back then, baby, I don't know if a deal would have wanted to deal with me back then. I would have to straight up. I would have to straight up, right? But watch this, parents. This is good for you as well, because if your kid is looking, to make money from their NIL, now they're going to clean their act up. So now
Hmm.
they're actually going to be uh, acting better. They're going to be worried about who they're hanging out with. Hey, bro, I can't be seen. I can't be seen in that kind of environment. So now the kid now is starting to learn, I am a business man.
Yes,
So and now
yes.
if I start seeing me as a business, as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna start changing up how I move. So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother angle that, a lot of people not talk about, but I try to teach them that as well.
Yeah. That's good. That's great,
Yeah.
right? Because we
Yeah.
know online has gone to a place where people, they can't really control what their kids do online but at least this was something that maybe will help keep that in check and help them to reframe it for themselves because we know, that's what it is about, kids making decisions for themselves and choosing correctly because we can't be there all the time. It would be great if we could.
Be great, we can, we can't. But as when your brain's not fully developed yet, you're gonna make some mistakes. But
Absolutely.
I think with personal branding or reputation, I tell my people like you don't have to have an NIL deal to have a brand. Matter of fact, we all have brands. We are all a walking billboard of ourselves. Your
Mm-hmm.
resume is that you look at it, that's you branding. We are all brands. You don't have to have an NIL deal to build a brand.
Right.
Also because you could be networking and building relationships with these brands. So now when you graduate, you may have a job waiting for you with these brands because they like how you were moving in college. You may have, that's how
Yeah.
I actually used my NIL to get my first, all of my jobs. I used my NIL. Did I have an NIL deal? No, but I used my NIL because I was going up to the athletic department, just speaking to people, being nice to the athletic directors. And so when it was time for me to
Right.
graduate, I didn't have a job. Like I don't think they do a good job of helping you transition from school to into the
Mm-hmm.
professional world. I needed help. And so, because of
Yeah.
me using my name, image, and likeness, and they remember me through the 5 years I was there, this guy was able to get me the interview at the swag. So he got me
Yeah.
the interview. I got the job, but he got me the interview. So that's why I tell people your personal brand, you always have that. And so you need to be working on building it anyway, like without a
Yeah.
branding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You see
All
what I'm saying
right.
though? Like how you switch that. No,
Yes.
you're a brand and you can use it other than that. Like every job I got, the teaching job I got to this day, I was able to use that I was a basketball player at Sanford University in Birmingham, Alabama. And I was able to get a job. I was able to get my job and I've been at this job for 17 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
we all got a personal brand.
So that's one of the things that you do is help parents and kids navigate, athletes navigate this new kind of landscape. Is that what you do? Or tell us more about what you do to help kids.
Yeah, so I help student athletes and their families, coaches. I help them to be able to make, manage, and grow the money that they make from their NIL deal, even if they don't have a deal yet. So I help them build their personal brand. I educate them on NIL, and then I help them. I have a system because a lot of them are making money. You know what they're doing with the money? Like what any young kid would do with the money, blowing it. We out. We at the clubs. I got the J's. My friends, I got y'all blowing it. And they don't have a plan for their money.
Yeah.
So I've developed
Right.
a system for student athletes of what to do with their money. Because back then, I was like, money was meant to spend. I was never taught about financial literacy. Money
Absolutely.
was man, we get money, we spend it. I got $7 left in my account. Oh, I'm gonna go buy something. I need to spend that. So we spent money. So when I got older, I developed myself a system, and so I just kind of tweaked it a little bit for student athletes. And it starts with a calculator. So if I got some money coming in, so NIL money coming in, I put my money in this calculator, and this calculator tells me this is how much you put aside for taxes. This is how much you put in your business reserve. And then this is how much owner's draw. I'm already teaching them about owner's draw. Owner's draw, this goes
Right.
into your personal account. And then from your personal account,
Right.
I teach a 4 bucket system. So now you got your personal money. That calculator will tell you this is how much for fixed costs, this is how much you save, invest, and this is how much you can spend your fun money. So your guilt-free
Right.
spending, fun money. So when you spend that, you ain't even got to worry about how much I got left. That money is only meant for you can spend it on whatever you want to spend it on. That system right there completely changed my life. Completely changed my life.
Cool.
So now my money is it's on auto it's automatically working for me, and I don't have to overthink it. How much? Oh, can I spend money on that? Can I spend money on that? The system. I was like, oh, I wasn't bad with money. I ain't had no system. So I teach that, and I got it in my book, NIL money. My book NIL money. That's is gonna go on pre-sale soon. But I got that in my book, and then I also got a starter kit that guides you through getting an LLC. When I tell you these kids are getting this money and they're treating it like it's their personal money. No business set up, no
Right.
liability set up. So I teach them how to set up their LLC, get a business bank account, separate your personal money and your business money. When the IRS come for you, you already said. Bookkeeping, so I got that
Yes.
in there. Taxes. I used to have a tax business, and I'm very knowledgeable on taxes. So I have a tax strategy training video for them to teach them about taxes and what's a deduction, what's not a deduction. I teach them how to invest. I got a training video on teaching them how to invest, have their first investment, how to set up an account, how to automatically have that money go in there, what to invest in, educational purposes. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
but so I got some training videos and the money system, and I teaching them, and I also got a budget template, like a spending plan, so they'll actually see as soon as I already done the math for it, as soon as they put their numbers in, they can see if they're overspending or underspending for those four buckets.
Right.
So I have a whole system in there. It's called the NIL Starter Kit. That if anybody want to take a look at that in my Instagram, CC the Coach, it's in my link. It's a link in my bio for that. Or you can comment me the word money as well. Or you can go to theprosperityleague.com/start.
We love this. And we also going to have everything in the show notes for you as well so that you can get all the access you need to Coach Cece, get your kids on track, get that money going early, right?
Get that
They
money going. Because look, and then
mhm.
look, I have to approach parents. I'm like, you're not taking advantage of. They're like, what? We don't understand it. They think it's just the money from the school that the schools are doing from the collectives. That's another one. The
Yeah, yeah.
collectives, that's a whole separate thing where the collectives are getting money from donors to be able to give to students. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about them
Okay.
becoming entrepreneurs and business owners themselves, and so they get more control of it. So, but a lot of parents thinking that's all they can do is
Okay,
accept
so
money from the collectives.
collectives is something that people are donating to an institution like a school, like they might donate it to the high school or the college. What is a collective? Tell us more.
A collective is completely separate than the school. Usually like a nonprofit organization that
Okay.
people who love the school or love the sports team or they went there, they'll get a
I
collective
see.
together. Yeah. Alumni, business people, they'll get a collective together and people would donate money to that nonprofit. They can get a
I
tax
see.
write off. Businesses that donate to that nonprofit, and then the collectives will take that money and they'll pay the teams like as a whole. Like they'll just give them like a stipend or some money like that. So the collectors do that as well. Okay.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
yeah, but of course, some collectors will promise you some money, and I know student athletes right now saying, "I have not seen any of that money," but they done got me here, and they wonder why so many people get in the transfer portal because y'all promising me something that I haven't even seen anything about it. They're giving these
Mm-hmm.
kids trucks and stuff, but they don't know. It's not being taught. We just see on social media the whole team got trucks, but we're not saying that they still have to write off a portion of the whatever the value of that truck is still they still have to pay taxes on that, whatever the value of that is
Oh,
as well. So
wow.
so it's got different ways that they can make money. I love the part where they're on their own, like saying taking their personal
Yes.
brand, making money, and then now it's still they're trying to decide if the colleges are going to start paying them as W-2 employees. That would be
Mm.
crazy. Because as a W-2 employee, that means if I'm late, you get treated like an employee. Like you can get fired as an employee. So they're kind of dealing, they kind of playing around with that law as well. I hope they don't do that. But I can't control that.
Well,
But
Coach
I'm just here
CC
to
is here to
educate
help you
people on what's
navigate
going
it.
on.
Right. Yeah. Keep you updated on all the changes. It's, like she said, the Wild Wild West, it's new. Lots of changes. Lots of things are happening.
Yeah.
And getting a strategy and, being, aware and staying updated on things is really
Ooh,
important.
that's
And I
good,
really
too.
like Yeah, I really like what you're saying is that you don't have to be this big athlete. Yeah, because everyone's not like a superstar athlete. Like we know that LeBron James, when he was in high school, people were coming and, to see him. Like you don't have to be that. There are ways to get money, using the local brands and businesses that you interact with. So we just love that you came on the show and gave us this. This is such on time information for parents. A lot of people don't know what to do, and we're leaving money on the table, letting other people take advantage of us. Maybe, we don't know, but we got to make sure also cutting ourselves off, right? By acting a fool online or yeah. So it's so important. A lot, the viewers are going to get a lot out of this. You've dropped so many gems. We love it.
I know I probably did. You see how my passion, I get so passionate about it. So Cece, put it in a book. Put it all in a book. So.
And it's coming up. Yes, we're gonna drop that pre-order link so we could put it in. Yeah. So we love this. So again, is there any
parents I hope parents that's in middle school or high school. This is so important to me. Parents in middle school or high school. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Do not wait till they get to college to start trying to learn this stuff. You can start learning it and preparing them and building their brand now. Like, don't wait it's almost too late when they get, because now everybody's going to come in. You don't know who's scamming, who to trust and all that. But I want y'all to be educated before the offer even hits the table.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so good. All right. So again, you can reach out to Coach Cece, and that's what I was going to say. Any last things? And this, she's telling us right now, get started right now. Don't wait till tomorrow or 2 years from now. You can start getting ideas right now, getting, wise to different things that are happening. Excellent. Well, again, thanks so much, Coach Cece, for visiting the Falling for Learning podcast, dropping all this knowledge on us. And for parents and educators out there, make sure you do something today to give your child the competitive advantage. Thank you. See you next time.
Thanks again for supporting the Falling for Learning podcast. New episodes go live every Saturday at 5 p.m. You can watch us on youtube.com at Falling for Learning, or listen on all major podcast platforms such as Apple, Google, Audible, Spotify, and much more. For more resources, visit fallinginlovewithlearning.com. We really appreciate you. Have a wonderful week.